Let's talk about couples. And exactly, let's talk about queer couples. In order to fully understand what I want to talk about, I need to tell you a little bit about something that existed for very long. That's the public sphere. The public sphere can be described as a place where private individuals take themselves into the public to have public discourse with other individuals. The public sphere is very exclusive, and that's because it only includes those that are a part of the white middle-class male category, especially when it started. At this point in time, it's been pushed and more individuals can join that public sphere, but the thing is, right now, queer individuals and other minorities aren't included. Whether you're of a different race, gender, sexuality, ethnicity, these minorities all are included in a category that may not be included in the public sphere to the full extent of other individuals. If you are a majority, then you are part of that public sphere. Another issue with the public sphere is the discourse that occurs within it presumes that everyone is interested in that. The reason this isn't a good thing is many queer individuals that aren't part of the public sphere want to partake in discourse that pertains to their own needs, and guess what? That's where the counterpublic comes in. This is a place where minorities can go and partake in discourse that pertains to their own needs. And I know, the counterpublic kind of seems like a closet, so why would anyone want to be partaking in that? Well, people wanted to partake in that because it was a place where they could come together with other people like them in the public. This allowed them to talk about issues that they thought were important and possibly raise it to the public. But the reason this is more like a closet is very few people want to enter the public sphere due to scrutiny from the majority. The counterpublic acts just like the closet many queer individuals have been in for a lot of their life. To further discuss this topic, we need to look at the public and private dichotomy that exists. It is said that what happens between closed doors is not our business. In 1967, homosexual acts in your home was decriminalized. But this really says a lot. It means that what happens in your home is important to what happens in the public. If people are worried about what you were doing behind closed doors, then obviously that says something about society. This brings up the topic of the couple. If we talk about the couple, we can look further into what we need to do in order to push those boundaries and break through the counterpublic into the public sphere. This act of coupling is a very heteronormative thing, and if we push those boundaries and display ourselves in public as couples, we're pushing that boundary on heteronormative society. And what's the biggest form of coupling? You've got it. It's the attempt to marry. Marriage is that one thing that's part of heteronormative society that if we can do, we then deem ourselves iconic citizens. That white picket fence, red car in the driveway, big house, the American dream, that all is circled around the idea that you get married to someone. So if we partake in same-sex marriage, we're pushing that boundary and placing ourselves in the public sphere. We're adopting a heteronormative aspect of life in order to show that we are citizens and we have the right to partake in these discourses that exist. No queer individual wants to be put back in the closet. And going into the counterpublic and having our discussions isn't going to do anything. By discussing between individuals that are all part of that minority, what change will ever happen? So we need to enter the public sphere to make a difference. The couple is a double bind because what you do in your own home is thought to be your own business. What's happened in the past that has had a similar effect? The women's rights movement is a perfect example of what happened in the past that made a difference. But what I'm saying is what the women's rights movement did is exactly what the queer rights movement needs to do. We need to break down that dichotomy between private and public, push ourselves out of the counterpublic and into the public sphere to show that we are citizens. We are citizens that have the right to partake in the public discourse that exists. And yeah, it may not be quick, and it may take a while, but it's the effort that counts. If we keep making an effort to show that we are part of the public sphere, and that we can adopt a heteronormative aspect of life, whether that be same-sex marriage or other things that heterosexuals do in the public sphere, I think one day we may be part of it, and there won't ever be an issue with it.